Chris Menard, thank you for joining me. I have a great video on Microsoft Copilot in Excel. This is a paid Copilot license feature. Microsoft is coming out with something called the Excel Agent. I'm going to demo it for you today, and you're going to be blown away with what it'll do. I want to show you where it's located in both Excel on the web and Excel desktop, give you an estimate about when it's coming out, and show you why I love it so much. So let's dive in right now. I am starting off with Excel on the web. I do have a paid subscription to Copilot. This is how Copilot currently looks in both web and desktop as of today, which is the 21st of February, 2026. You've got this drop down here. Copilot used to not have this drop down, and I found that it was easier to use before you had the drop down because people don't understand the difference between chat and app skills. I'm letting you know that soon the drop down will go away, but why it's here, and it's here both on the web and in desktop for you. Let me show you what's the difference. If you just click on the icon, that opens up the chat. You notice, you can tell I have a paid license because I've got web and I've got work, enterprise data protection. Going to app skills, web and work does not show. App skills is where you go and do the really cool stuff in Excel, meaning conditional formatting on the cells, sorting, filtering, creating pivot tables that you add to your Excel file, creating pivot charts. That is app skills. And you would come down here and ask Copilot what you want to do, suggest a formula. I could say add 2 columns, one for profit in column G and one for profit in percentage, and it would do it using the invoice and the cost. There's some conditional formatting, there's pivot tables. So this is app skills. So what does chat do? Again, you can either click on chat. Here you go. I'm going to run chat for you. It's telling me to analyze this workbook and give me some interesting data insights. Let's do that. So I was on chat, I analyzed it. It comes back and gives me this information. If you notice, I'm not going to sit here and run through all this. But when you use chat, you're not adding anything specifically to your file. It is just giving you an overview of the different worksheets. When you get down here all the way to the bottom, you can add to a new sheet. So it's going to add all the text that it just showed me to a new sheet. I'll go ahead and do this. There it is there. I could copy this, go put it into Excel. I can share the prompt, and I got more options. This analyst, this is another paid feature. Not worried about that right now, but that would dive deep into this. But let me close this. So that was the web version, drop down, chat, and app skills. And I find it very confusing when Microsoft did this. So let me show you where they're headed with the desktop, and hopefully I'm going to blow you away with the agent in Excel. I have Excel desktop running, and I want to be real clear about this. If you are at a company working, you're probably going to have an enterprise license, and you're probably going to be either running semi-annual, monthly, or current. Most likely it'll be monthly or semi-annual. Monthly gets updated once a month. Semi-annual, just like it says, and current gets updated throughout the month. Most companies do not put their users on current. They're usually on monthly, not always. On my Chris Menard tenant, just to be clear, I'm running my M365. Yours will say for enterprise, mine says for business. I did blur out my email in these 2 different locations and down below here just so you wouldn't see them. I want to point out that I am running something in beta channel. I'm getting updates just constantly. Sometimes stuff doesn't work, so you're not going to be on this at work, but this is future updates. Notice my Copilot does not have that drop-down arrow in the top, and I am happy about that. So now when I select Copilot, I just selected Copilot. Here's the screen. You're saying, Chris, this looks very similar to the chat you were just using on the web. You're correct. This is. But now, instead of having those app skills, all I'm going to do is come down here to Tools, and there is the agent mode that Microsoft is going to release. and I'm going to select agent mode, and it says allow direct edits to your workbook. I'm going to click it. After I clicked it, edit with agent mode, describe what you'd like to create or edit. Let's just try something quickly with conditional formatting. In the prompt box, I said, put all numbers for the invoice column over 40K in a yellow background. This is conditional formatting. When I send this off, Copilot in the past would do this, and then it would show me what it did, and then I had to grab the mouse and click on apply. With this agent mode, the way it's running right now, as you can see, it is just doing it, and it is doing it very quickly. Done. I don't have to click apply anymore. And I love that it's telling me now below what exactly it did. And I can come and tweak this so I don't have to click apply anymore. Well, that was a really simple one. Let's try the other one that I'm hoping is going to blow you away. So I'm still in agent mode. Something else to show you when you're in agent mode, if you look up at the top here, let me just go back here. Let me just do a new one. Click agent mode. Auto is the default, but now Microsoft Excel has always been using OpenAI, and there's GPT 5.2. We now have Claude Opus 4.5 from Anthropic. I'm going to use Anthropic on this. So changed it. It now says Claude. What do you want to do? I'm going to tell it to create my prompt, create a dashboard for me. I want to see charts and graphs and pivot tables. Before I send this off, I want you to know something. In column A, we got over 2,000 rows, but there are 3 different dealerships in column A. Column B, the brands have 10 different car brands. And in column C, we have 5 different reps. Then we've got some dates in D and invoice and cost. Let's see what agent mode using Claude does with this. The dashboard is complete. I close the task pane over on the far right. Always go and trust and verify the amounts. Do not assume that they're wrong. So we've got revenue for the month of January, and we got profit over here. By the way, we didn't even have a profit column in our data. So let's just go and check January 2024. Okay. January 2024, the revenue is 1.2 and the profit is 264. Let's test that real quick. So I'm looking for 1270576. Here's the invoice. I've already filtered by January 2024. Down in my status bar, there is the number. Quick test, that's correct. Now let's see if the profit's right. So here's the cost. There was no profit column. 264, 494, 264, 494. You can look up top here and see that it did a sum ifs function right here. It did all this for me. We've got our 3 dealerships that I said. I'm not going to sit here and check them now, but I do know that we have just a little over 2,004 different row items. Let's go see if that's correct. 2,004 items, so that one's correct. I'm not going to sit here and run through all this, but look at all the different charts it created, including top 5 invoice. So this is really great. So next time your boss, he or she says, hey, can you create a dashboard for this data from me? And you got a Copilot license, you tell them, sure, it may take me a day or 2. Just kidding about that one. But this is absolutely incredible right here. This is agent mode in Excel. And just to be clear, it did also make some pivot tables. It created the dashboard and it made pivot tables over here also. Great feature. That was clicking Copilot. Notice there's no drop down. Going to tools, clicking on agent mode, deciding whether you're going to do auto, GPT 5.2, or Claude. You pick what you want to do or leave it as auto, and then go to town with agent mode. And this is just so much cleaner than having the Copilot with the drop down with chat versus app skills. I'm not sure, like I've already got this in my beta desktop, but I would bet that you're going to have this on the web probably first before it hits the desktop. But just check both if you're sitting with current channel or monthly channel for an enterprise account. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're impressed with agent mode as much as I am. Appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day.